Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome. Katie here. And if you're new here, I did notice some new people arriving to this lovely community. I like to focus on planning my energy. And that used to be my channel name. And a little bit of expat life because I moved to the Netherlands last summer and it's spring now of the next year. In case you're watching this way in the future. And I use my Faded Chronicle here that I was new to this year. I used an actual twines and paper hybrid last year. So this is definitely a 2-week hybrid here. And I used to be vertical. We're going to see this next year what's like 2027 is what I'm talking about. How things are shaping up. I know Tiffany was talking about some changes and then went back to almost zero changes in her Facebook group. I highly recommend joining Facebook groups for your planners because sometimes you can have a little influence. Now, there are so many different use cases that it's going to be very hard. It's like herding cats. And there's going to be like people who need a lot of extra pages and people who don't. And it just varies. And I can see her wanting to keep things simple enough for her orders. She has to order quite a few months in advance. So like my current things that I'm having trouble with are all the boxes here and just this line basically, because I was used to twines and paper having just basically a solid grid over here and I could make, whatever I want. But I'm going to try something a little different over here on this side, on this spread. And then I really enjoy like having a vertical and mapping out because I sometimes don't see when things overlap. Even if I think it's because I enter something in quickly on my digital calendar and I don't quite like look where it landed. Like when you put it in, sometimes you don't actually see it appear on that day. So it really does help to look at the week ahead to see what conflicts I have. I am not one to put any dailies in here because I have a 5-year journal. Where else do I write? So I have my joy journal, which also the announcement is there. I just moved that over to my Patreon. All of them for the rest of the year will be over there. It's free to see that video over there. And what else is over there? So you can get early release of my podcast over there. That is paid, but the deep dive writings that I do and the joy journals are totally free over there. So if you want, there's a link below. Just join for free. It's if you are a Patreon, if you enjoy receiving emails and posts from Patreon, it's pretty easy to just sign up over there. And what else about this? Oh, so dailies and stuff. Yeah, I have other planners that do that. So like all the planner pages in the back here, I'm not going to use many of them. I'm using some. I have some moon reflections that I do. I have a notes area, and then I have my project planner. I need to update this a little bit more because we're now into April and I need to forward that. But I've moved a lot into April now, considering it's the 6th through the 12th, right? We should be firmly in April. But I am filming this on the 3rd, so it is still kind of filling out for me. I shared my quarterly setups. Here, there's a bookmark right where it should be. So I set this up here and I did a whole video. I'll link that below as well of like me going over how this worked. And I'm very happy with it. So I find it really interesting to kind of reflect and see how things are going and then make changes. Yeah, I'm making changes weekly. I'm making changes. And like this week, I'm going to totally make a new change here because I have been putting, so the monthlies are all in here. I went through and did all the monthlies. Last year I did them one by one, but for me, this year, it's important to have them in there for me. For my sanity, I just needed them all in there. So I'm doing quarterly updates instead of monthly. Updates? No, setups. Quarterly setups where I kind of do reflect on the last quarter instead of monthly. And that's just working a lot better for me in terms of my energy. But I have been using this top for meals. I have been covering the side dates here so that I'm not looking at them. And this kind of layout really works. I'm only using like one of the trackers, which is plenty for me. And then I have kind of been using, like, I pick a card every week. I have a memory that I like to think about, the goals area, and then just like things I need to get. So like this is working really well. This week though, I want to have these dates because I have been writing the dates up there. Like last week, I wrote the numbers because I needed to see the numbers. And I'm like, well, why am I writing them if they're right here? And then I'm like, wait, I should be writing the meals here, but I need less room. So that's where I'm going to start here, is that I don't like this vertical line here. To me, it's restricting. I saw the appeal. Let's see, should I just go straight up? Maybe, or can I actually, let's see how delicately I can do this to keep some of the horizontal lines. No, I think it's just worth it to go all the way up. Whoops, because I was going to get off track anyway. Okay. So, what was I saying there? I saw the appeal of having like a personal or a work, or like, here's my personal, here's my kids stuff, or here's my partner stuff, or, like there's many times where you have it could be like health appointments and then your work appointments, or there's a lot of reasons to have two. So I completely understand her doing that. And I could just write the meals here and have my list here. But something's throwing me off with that. So I think I'm kind of tempted to get rid of these. I don't do it very often, but when I do, that's the story, right? Or that's the jingle. So I only need about that much room. So I think I'm going to go here. I'm just going to write some dots here so I don't get totally crooked with my lines. I haven't done this before, but I do appreciate when my body and mind are like, you need to change things up a bit. Something's off. Or, try a new iteration of something. So what I could do is erase in between here because this is erasable pen. Oh, I could have followed this line. Do I want to do that? That is a good question. Let's see. If I'm trying something new, why don't I try it, and if I have the ability to erase, I think the dots helped me. And maybe we don't draw in between there. Okay. Let's do I want to? I'm restructuring this whole page. Well, I did put a line in that top part, but again, I can erase again. let's see. Let's take off this top part. That's where I'm starting at. Now, the whiteout is really showing up in my camera, but when I'm looking at it from like this bottom angle, I can barely see it. And most of the time, it's not in like this bright of a light. Okay. Things are happening. Okay, and the next thing we're going to bring up is this is being released on Easter, and I didn't do much Easter decoration last week, so I thought, hey, why don't I bring out my little rabbits and we're going to have some fun with them. So I don't know if this will go with everything, but I do know that like I have these larger bunnies and I have these smaller ones, and they all have kind of these brown and gray tones to them. And I thought maybe I could use some of this. This is a washi sticker from Chiro with Gabby. So, but this is like pink. Even though there's rabbits, I don't think I want to use it. Let me see what else. Because I want a washi to cover the top. And this was my washi video. I did a video on cleaning this up. Let me see. Is there something here? Oop. These are ones that I didn't bring the whole roll over when I moved. But I kind of want them to go with this. I'm wondering about this one here. It has some very similar tones. And it might be large enough. First of all, because I was thinking about using like the little rabbits on the next one, on the next spread. Yeah, I think I should have done just one single line down. Okay, I'll keep week 15, just in case I don't cover that up. But I do want to cover these in case I do a lighter washi, and I don't want everything showing through there. Okay, because this one is pretty light and things will shine, just show through it. But it's not like entirely Easter-like, but that's okay. It's not a huge thing that I'm concerned about matching this week. I think this is more of the top here. Yeah, it's interesting to use up washis that you no longer have access to because you like them, but you couldn't pack them. But it's kind of the same thing of just using up a washi you've had for a long time. I think they're kind of a same feeling of like, well, I'm using it, and that's what counts. I do think I want to cut it here. Oops, a little crooked, but let's see. Oh, yeah, you can't see the week through there. I am going to cover it up. I don't think I need to see that. Oh, I wanted to try, I'll get to it in a second here. I wanted to try some Tombow on this stamp, this flower stamp, and just like do some really faint flowers, which I think kind of match this, but they are a lot smaller and more intricate. But so I wanted to focus on the top parts, I think, here. And I want it to be just kind of, I have never done this before, of like putting ink down on here. And I know it's not going to be like super dark or anything. But let's just see what happens here. I used this same stamp a bit ago with black. Let's see. I'm going to try it this way. Yeah, because those are... See if anything happens here. Okay, not much happened. But I've also seen like... Because it does dry really quick, of just kind of... I have to do it a little quicker. Oh, that's kind of a muddy color because I didn't get all the black ink off of there. But it's interesting what I'm doing here. Just kind of is in the box. I mean, there's a little bit outside, but I just want to do like a little hint of something, and that's what I'm doing. So am I taking the ink off? Am I actually cleaning with just doing a little bit of this? I don't know. It's kind of different every time I stamp. There. I wanted to experiment with that, and I did. So, okay, this may look really interesting, like what is happening. But, again, I'm trying new things. Okay, I need my tweezers. So what I wanted to do is then layer on top. I'm new to layering a lot, so that's what I'm like trying to play with here. Kind of put that there. It's a little ironic because when I look at these, I'm like, you can just tear washi paper, but I don't have these really cute prints of washi. So that's the other part. And then kind of do that. But then I want to layer a little bunny here. How about this duo, this bunny duo? Because they're kind of washi tape like too. And that's why I wanted to go kind of washi matte. You have that like matte feel to things. I think they're going to need some help here because they're blending in quite a lot. Let's see. Maybe up here. Maybe like they're sitting on it. Because I have room to do a list there. Let's see. Does that still read as bunny? I don't know. My other rabbits, though, are shiny, though, aren't they? These are, well, no, they're a little bit matte. We'll see. So I remember just using these plain rabbits last year for... Was it last year or the year before for Easter? And they were just so cute to have around. So Now that we are here, do I want to use more of this washi? I think so. And this time I want to have it across the bottom. Trying to cut that a little straighter, but it got a little wonky there. I'm using, do I have enough? Yeah, it's still unraveling. I don't know if I'd have enough for like a whole next spread, you know. Maybe. I did try to put quite a lot on here. Okay, now I want to add, this has definitely the same tones to it, so kind of up there. So like, maybe that's the problem. This is like really nice and straight, and then I have like torn things and stamped things, and I haven't stamped over here yet. Maybe it's okay to be different that way. Of course it's okay because I'm doing it. Do I want the little rabbits here? Let's see how this goes. How shiny is this? Oh, it is pretty shiny. But it is super cute. So this one here, I don't know if you can see it, this little brown one. Let's see. So right here is like a little bunny tail, and he's looking backwards. Looking at his little bunny butt. So I think I kind of want to do that down here. This one's just rolling around. I want to use these up. Let's see. Yeah, the ironic thing is that I'm using them after Easter. Technically, I'm using them the week after, and I could have, you know, used them last week, but it just didn't feel right yet. You just have to go with your gut sometimes. There's a little something here. Where is that? I don't know what's going on with that. We're gonna let that be. I like this. This was cute. And these are different rabbits. Okay. I don't think I want to use this plaid. I want to stick to, okay, let's put a little stamp though. I think just down here. Let's use, which part was I using? Yeah, I was using this top part. So let's try this part here. If I had a darker, oh, there's still a little bit on there. I don't care. I'm having fun. Let's see here. I'm trying to kind of spread it around a little. Yeah, kind of like that. It's just that this side here looks a little muddy. I could have like put down washi tape there to keep it from stamping that area. Where is it? But I think what I'll do, I can leave it. Let's see. It does mimic over here. Otherwise, I was going to white it out, but I don't think I need to. Let's just sit with it for a bit. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is put all of my appointments and hours of things on here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I've done here is, let me note this as, well, I'll put it here. No school for Easter Monday. That's a new thing for us here in the Netherlands. There's also like Easter Friday and stuff there. It's a bank holiday today, but some of the kids are in school, some aren't. So I don't know how that's determined. We'll find out, but my kid was in school today. But this is my son's school hours. I have a lab coming up that I need to go to here. My Chiro is being spread out now. I used to go like every Wednesday. And now every 3 weeks is what I'm doing. And then hopefully maybe once a month or like once every 6 to 8 weeks. We have a family visiting, popping through on Friday. That's exciting. And let's see, what else? I didn't highlight things yet. That's what I need to do. So I was going to highlight across the top. I'm a little outside the lines, but that's okay. I do know Tiffany was going to just not have the weekends shaded. I understand why she did it, and it does look nice, but it just keeps people from kind of using that area. So I do know that's like one of the things she was changing up. And then I want to highlight this area, but we don't need that side. And then, what do I want to do here? This still feels a little weird. So I think, first I'm just going to try erasing the dots. It's weird, like usually with erasable pen, there's no like eraser bits coming off, but there's some kind of, I don't know what it is, stuff coming off. And maybe this is, I might have been erasing in on paper that had some tooth to it, and it might be affecting my eraser nub here. So I think I do want to put a big solid line here. I could get a different pen, but I think I can just go over this. Also, actually, I kind of like the look. It's kind of almost faded in spots. Some spots are a little more bold and some aren't. So we're going to go with that instead. To me, that looks just slightly better. And my husband and I finally finished up Deadloch season 2. Amazing. We watched 2 episodes at a time, and if you would want to do that, I'd highly recommend it. because it felt like a natural, like they do have some kind of, oh, what's it called? When they have an ending to an episode and you want to watch the next one. Oh, why am I just blanking on this? Cliffhanger, kind of an ending. That's what it was. It seemed like every other one was the bigger cliffhanger, sort of. Maybe that's just because we were watching them that way. But amazing ending, shocking and amazing. And I didn't think we could be shocked, and we were shocked. So that's all I'll say. Because I know that just came out. Season 1 was amazing. I want to go back and rewatch it now because, yeah, it's such a kind of, the 2 seasons are so different with what's happening, yet the characters are so true. They go on their own character arcs, but yeah, it was so good. I would say it's definitely, in my book, a 5-star. So what I'll do here is I'll put the meals here, and I do like that now as a solid. What do I want to do to cover some of these up? So I do want to have these 4 boxes. I can just keep going there because I do use these. And I am going to write my card info here, the card I pulled, which was the 2 of Candles, and that is how you balance your passions now, stay put or chase something new. Anyway, I'm going to write this. I'm going to write a memory and kind of work on this area, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I have is this all filled out. I have my card in here, And then I have my memory here of playing with our own pet rabbits that we had. We did have quite a few, and yeah, it brought back a lot of memories. I've been thinking about them lately. So yeah, we had an outside pen that we would put like something over so the hawks wouldn't get them. And we also had indoor, like putting a blanket down because yes, they will do their business everywhere. They were kind of litter trained. I had some things that they could be like just going in an area, but yeah, so, and then I have like goals for the week, and then I wrote down the meals that we have, and then anything to buy. And I want to keep this area blank because I just don't want to use it, but I'm trying to figure out what to put there. Now, this area feels a lot better. So what I'd like to do here is what I usually do, which is like tasks and then admin. But it feels a lot better to just not have the lines in between, and then I can just see how this one would have, like it's close. I could have left it and just drawn 2. Maybe I'll try that next week so that the tasks and meals are split in half, and then the admin's on the other side. I just wanted some room for the rabbits here. The last thing I might want to try to do here is just kind of stamp in this area to fill it up. Me and my stamping abilities here. It's not not going the best here. I feel like this is where I keep highlighting. But let's see. Let's see what happens here. They'll kind of be upside down a little bit, but I need to kind of put that down. Ooh. Okay. There are some flowers in this area. It's just going to go every which way. The bottom, yeah. Aiming at the bottom here. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm having fun with it. It's sensory because it feels kind of rubbery. It's satisfying to push down. There. It's kind of more blocky than I meant for it to be. But there's something there. It's a little dirty-ish. Let's see if that lightens up a little bit. But there's something there. Is this the best spread ever? No. I don't think there is. I don't think that actually exists. But will this work for this next week? Here, I can help dry it off a little bit. I have my blotting paper that I can stick in here too. So, but I like the rabbits. And do I need any more? That's the question. I like these. I'm wondering about plopping one in here. Like this one in the hat. The hat has blue on it though. So I'm looking at like these options. Oh, it's another bunny butt. I think I might just have to use that. Like right here. And then something to distract this area here. I think more like that. The bunny's kind of hiding there. And I think this one, kind of in this area, like there's this blank area right here. So it's more like, well, there's a blank area, so stick a rabbit in it. Okay. Again, it's it's what you make of it, right? Any other bunnies here? I'm gonna stick one here because there's no school. And that little bunny is celebrating. So yeah, I think that's about it. I only put like a little bit there and here. A little bit of stamps just to kind of bring the ideas through. Wasn't really going for a diamond there, but that's what it is. I mean, I could try just a little bit more. What could I do there? I'm looking at the shape here. I think I could do like just this area here. I don't know. Am I making it worse? It's a little helping a little bit there. I will say that. I'm trying to get like right here. There. It's a little better. If you consider that better. You can judge this all you want. I don't care. Like, it's fine. I'm the one, again, like I said last week. No, it was the time I chose this green. The last week of March here. It's like, I have to live with this. I wasn't thrilled about it, but we went with it. So it filled up that area. It obtained the goal. I don't want this to feel like a box to fill out. I just want this to really focus on these boxes here and these here. And then this has an area. You know what? I'm going to highlight all the way down. This will make it feel better for the days of the week, so I can actually use those, because up here they don't have the numbers, right? Yeah, it just says the days of the week, so to have both there is kind of nice. And now I feel like all the boxes are being used, and then when you come here, most of the boxes are being used here too. I think that's what my brain does. Being the autistic side of me is like, I want to use the organizational spots. And I wanted to cover up the top, did that. Wanted to use the side, did that. So we're going to see how this goes. Stamps, we can kind of pretend they're there. They're not there. That's an option. And yeah, it'll be nice to have an extra day off on Monday. And then my son goes in late on Tuesday. He's had a teacher out sick for, this will be 6 weeks now. I don't know what's going on. Fortunately and unfortunately, it's the art teacher, so it's not like math or something like really important. I mean, I very much think arts are very important. So I am kind of sad that he's not getting those, but they don't have substitutes here. So it's like, okay. I think we will... Maybe I'll ask him to do some art with me this next week or something. So I think that's it. Thank you for being here. And yeah, if you want to catch some of my other works over on Patreon, the link is below. I think I'll put it in the comments too, just so you don't have to wade through everything. And join there for free. You don't have to pay for anything. Just come on over. We're doing some fun stuff over there. And then, what else? Like and subscribe. And I have recently, as of February 1st, this is April 3rd, so 2 months ago, changed the name of my channel, which cut my views way down. So I've been working my butt off to gain everything back. And, it's okay. I understand that that's what happens. I didn't quite understand at the time that that's what happens because, you keep all of your numbers, but you just don't get the reach. And so if you want to actually see all my stuff, consider ringing that little bell, set it to however you like, what works for you, because then you actually get notifications of my stuff. People are popping back on going, oh, there you are. Yep, that's what happens. So yeah, consider doing all of that. It always helps. And I will see you next time. And yeah, check out my joy journals that normally came out on Tuesdays. They're going to be out on Fridays in Patreon. Take care, everyone, and I will see you soon. Was there any other things? I think that's it. Take care, everyone, and I will see you soon. Bye.